अस्सलाम वालेकुम गाइस। जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि मेरा नाम रशीद अहमद है और मैं रेहान स्कूल में पढ़ता हूँ और फाउंडेशन लेवल में हूँ। तो जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि हमें रोज़ नए नए टास्क मिलते हैं, तो आज का मेरा टास्क है टॉकिंग विद माया। तो चलिए मैं अपना टास्क शुरू करता हूँ।
Hey there. Good to hear from you again so quickly.
हेलो माया।
Oh, good to connect with you again. What's up?
सो आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन फॉर यू, एज आई से ऑलवेज।
Gotcha. Lay it on me. I'm all ears. Or
So
no.
my first question is, what is air made of?
Okay. Simple enough. Air is mostly nitrogen and oxygen, about 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. The remaining 1% is a mix of other gases like argon, carbon. No problem. Anything else on your mind?
Okay, so my next question is, why is air important for living things?
That's a good one. Basically, living things need air, specifically the oxygen in it, to survive. We breathe it in, and it helps us turn food into energy. Plants also need carbon dioxide from the air to grow. It's kind of a whole system, you know?
Okay, so my next question is, how do humans use air to breathe?
Right. So when you breathe in, air travels down your throat and into your lungs. Your lungs have tiny air sacs called alveoli, and that's where oxygen gets transferred into your bloodstream. Then your blood carries the oxygen to all parts of your body. When you breathe out, you get rid of carbon dioxide, which is a waste product. Pretty neat, huh?
Okay, so my next question is, why do plants need air?
Plants are kind of the opposite of us in a way. They need carbon dioxide, a gas in the air, to make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. They also take in oxygen, just like we do, but they produce more oxygen as a byproduct. It's a whole beautiful exchange.
Okay, so my next question is, what is the difference between fresh air and polluted air?
Good question. Fresh air has a good balance of gases and very few harmful particles or pollutants. Polluted air, though, has extra stuff in it, things like dust, smoke, chemicals that can be bad for your health. Basically, fresh air is clean and polluted air isn't. Makes sense, right?
Okay, so my next question is, how does air help birds and
Whoa there. Okay, you were asking how air helps with burping? Well, swallowing air happens when you eat and drink, and sometimes that air gets trapped in your stomach. Burping is just your body's way of getting rid of that extra air. It's totally normal. Anything else you're curious about?
so my next question is, why can't we see air even thought it's everywhere?
Oh, that's a really good observation. Air is made up of tiny particles, much too small for our eyes to see individually. Light passes right through it, so it's invisible. We can feel it when the wind blows, though, and we can see its effects, like leaves rustling or bubbles forming. It's there, just sneaky.
Okay, so my next question is, what happens when air moves quickly?
When air moves quickly, you get winds. Depending on how fast it's moving, you can get a gentle breeze, a strong gust, or even a storm. Fast moving air can also create things like tornadoes and hurricanes. It's powerful stuff when it picks up speed.
Okay, how does air help us feel cool and warm?
Ah, gotcha. You're asking how air affects how we feel temperature. Okay, so when you're hot, your body sweats, and as the sweat evaporates, it cools your skin. Air moving across your skin helps that evaporation happen faster, making you feel cooler. When it's cold, air can feel harsh because it quickly pulls heat away from your body. It's all about how air interacts with your skin temperature. Make sense?
Okay, so my next question is,
Bring it
why
on.
do we need oxygen in the air?
Okay, so this is kind of fundamental. We need oxygen for cellular respiration. Basically, it's how our bodies turn the food we eat into energy. Oxygen helps break down those food molecules, releasing the energy we need to function. Without oxygen, our cells can't do that. And, well, we wouldn't last very long.
Okay, so my
It's
next
pretty
question
vital.
is, what is carbon dioxide and why is it important for plants?
Right. Carbon dioxide is a gas in the air. It's what we breathe out. Plants use carbon dioxide along with water and sunlight to create their own food through photosynthesis. It's basically their energy source. So, it's vital for their growth and survival. We breathe out what they need, and they give us oxygen. Pretty cool system, huh?
Okay, so
Everything
my
all right?
next question is, how does air pressure affects weather?
Good question. Air pressure is basically the weight of the air above us. Changes in air pressure are a big deal for weather. High pressure usually means clear skies and calm weather, while low pressure often brings clouds, wind, and precipitation. Air moves from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure, and that movement creates wind. It's a whole domino effect, really.
Okay, so my next question is, what happens if the air is dirty?
If the air is dirty, meaning it's polluted with things like smoke, chemicals, or dust, it can cause a lot of problems. It's bad for your health, potentially causing breathing issues, heart problems, and other illnesses. It's also harmful to the environment, contributing to acid rain and harming plants and animals. Basically, dirty air isn't good for anyone or anything.
Okay, so my next question is, what
Shoot.
is the role of air in the water cycle?
Good one. Air plays a big role. It holds water vapor, which is water in gas form. When warm, moist air rises, it cools and the water vapor condenses into clouds. Then that water falls back to earth in this as rain, snow, or hail. Air also helps move those clouds around, distributing water all over the place. It's a crucial part of the whole cycle.
Okay, how does air help in burning fire?
That's a smart question. Fire actually needs oxygen, a gas in the air, to burn. It's called combustion, and oxygen is a key ingredient. Think of it like this: you can't have a fire without air. If you try to smother a fire, you're cutting off its oxygen supply.
Okay, so my next question is, why should we not cut too many trees for clean air?
That's a really important question. Trees are amazing air purifiers. They take in carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change, and release oxygen, which we need to breathe. When we cut down too many trees, there are fewer plants to absorb carbon dioxide and produce oxygen, making the air less clean. Plus, forests help regulate the climate and prevent soil erosion. It's a whole ecosystem thing.
Okay, so my next question is, how does air pollution affect health?
Okay, this is serious. Air pollution can mess with your health in a lot of ways. It can irritate your eyes, nose, and throat, and make it harder to breathe. Long term exposure can lead to heart disease, lung cancer, and other serious health problems. It's especially dangerous for kids, older adults, and people with existing health conditions. Basically, breathing polluted air is just not good for you.
Okay, so my next question is why
Shoot.
what can we do to keep our air clean?
That's the million-dollar question, right? There are a lot of things we can do. Using less energy, walking or biking instead of driving, turning off lights helps reduce pollution from power plants. Supporting cleaner transportation options like electric vehicles and public transit is huge. Also, reducing waste, planting trees, and advocating for stronger environmental regulations all make a difference. It's a collective effort really. Little changes add up.
Okay, so my next question is why
All
is
right, hit me
air
with.
important for sound to travel?
That's a clever one. Sound travels as vibrations, and it needs something to travel through, like air. The air molecules bump into each other, passing the vibrations from the source of the sound to your ears. If there was no air, there would be nothing to carry those vibrations, and you wouldn't be able to hear anything. That's why sound doesn't travel in space.
Okay, what is the difference between hot air and cold air?
Good questions. Main is the speed of the molecules. In hot air, the molecules are moving faster and are more spread out, making it less dense. Cold air has slower moving, more tightly packed molecules, making it denser. That's why hot air rises, because it's lighter than cold air. It also affects things like wind and weather patterns.
Okay, so my next question is why do balloons rise in the air?
Okay, so this comes down to density again. Balloons rise because the gas inside them, usually helium or hot air, is less dense than the air surrounding them. Basically, the lighter gas floats on top of the heavier air. That's the same reason why a cork floats on water. Pretty neat, huh? Anything else on your mind? Feel free to keep the questions coming.
Okay, so my next question is why do
I'm not quite sure I understood that last
why
question.
do vehicles affect the air around us?
Ah, okay. So you mean like, do our emotions or feelings have an impact on the air around us? That's a really interesting thought. Now, scientifically speaking, our feelings don't directly change the composition of the air. However, our emotions definitely affect our breathing. When we're stressed, we breathe faster, and when we're calm, we breathe slower. So, in that sense, yes, our internal state does have a physical effect on the air we exhale. It's a subtle connection, but it's there. Is that what you were getting at?
Okay, so my next question is why do astronauts use a special suit in space where there is no air?
That's a really important question. Space has almost no air, which means there's no air pressure and no oxygen. Astronauts need those special suits to survive because the suits provide them with one, oxygen to breathe, two, pressure to keep their bodies from expanding, and fluids from boiling, three, protection from extreme temperatures, four, shielding from harmful radiation. Basically, the suit creates a little bubble of Earth-like atmosphere around the astronaut so they can function in the harsh environment of space. It's pretty amazing technology, actually.
Okay,
And that's
so my
awesome.
next question is why does air help in dyeing clothes?
Whoa, okay, that's a unique question. You mean winds up clocks, right? Not digital clocks? Air doesn't directly help them, but the mechanism relies on a mainspring being wound up. Over time, the oils inside the clock dry out and thicken, making it harder for the gears to move. A gentle puff of air can sometimes dislodge dust or help redistribute those oils temporarily, allowing it to run a little longer. But it's more of a temporary fix than anything. It's a clever observation, though.
Okay, so how can technology help reduce air pollution?
That's a really important question. There's a lot tech can do. We're seeing things like one, electric vehicles and better battery tech to reduce emissions from cars. Two, smart grids and renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. Three, air purification technologies that can filter pollutants from the air. Four, sensors and data analytics to monitor pollution levels and identify sources. Carbon capture technologies to remove CO2 from the atmosphere. It's a really active area of innovation right now, and there's a lot of potential for technology to make a real difference. It's hopeful.
So that was my last question. Now I am
Ha! All right, you're a step ahead of me. What is it?
okay. Now I am going. We will meet soon.
Oh, all right. Well, it was really good talking to you. Have a good one.
So guys, जैसे कि आपने देखा मैंने माया से काफ़ी सवाल किए और इसने हमारे हर सवाल का जवाब दिया। तो यहीं पर मैं अपने टास्क को एंड करता हूँ। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।